Means is a name you are going to be more and more familiar with. He is credited with connecting with RFK Jr. and President-elect Trump on why he says that their Make America Healthy Again movement is already getting results. But he's been laying the groundwork on this along with his sister for many years. But part of what we're seeing with the repeal of red dye 40 is just the very beginning, the tip of the iceberg. We'll be right back. Experts calling the FDA's ban on red dye number 3 in our food long overdue. It has been more than 30 years since scientists linked this dye to cancer in animals. At that point, Europe got rid of a lot of these dyes, but we didn't. Joining me now, Calley, a name that you will hear a lot of in the future as we talk about Make America Healthy Again. He's the co-founder of True Med, along with his sister, who was a surgeon in California. He's an informal advisor to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They've worked closely on all of this. President-elect Trump's nominee for HHS, of course. Calley, great to have you with us. Thank you for being here. What do you think prompted, this is just one chemical we're talking about, and I know you dig into so many others, but it's a start. What prompted the FDA to take this action now against this red dye?
Maha moms who made their voice very clear in voting for President Trump and his promise to make America healthy again with Robert F. Kennedy. You saw it during the campaign, Martha, when President Trump stood at that podium and talked at every rally in the close of the campaign to clean up our food supply and get to the bottom of why kids are getting sick, get to the bottom of why American food companies are making the same product with less healthy ingredients in America than they do for Europeans. It was electric. It was a release from the crowd who are very frustrated with the skyrocketing rates of obesity, where 50% of U.S. teens are overweight or obese. It's 3% in Japan. The USDA, they hid this until after the election, but 38% of teens right now are pre-diabetic. I mean, we've got a serious problem in America right now, and the moms and the dads and everyone who's concerned about the devastating trends of chronic disease made their voice heard, and it's amazing, Martha. President Trump talks about keeping his promises. Who would have expected these promises to clean up our food supplies happening before he's even takes the inauguration?
Well, we've seen that with a number of things in different parts of the policy. So who has protected these dyes? I mean, is it lobbyists keeping this stuff in our food because they make money off of it? What can you tell us about that quickly?
The food system is weaponized by design. Few know this, but in the 1990s, 40% of the U.S. food supply was owned by the cigarette industry, by Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds. They were the two largest food companies. They rigged the food pyramid. Even to this day, 19 out of the 20 USDA nutrition advisors are paid for by the food and pharma companies. And they produce bogus studies that say these food dyes, which are made from crude oil, which are phased out of every other country in the world, are healthy because their marketing survey says that the neon colors make kids want to buy it.
Crude oil in our food. I just want to go back. Crude oil in our candy.
These food colorings are literally crude oil. That is what it should say on the box. We have chemicals like atrazine, which change testosterone to estrogen for our boys. We have 10,000 chemicals, Martha, that are being phased out of every other country. We have self-policing. We have a system designed, again, by the cigarette industry and scientists trying to make our food addictive. They've bought off our institutions. And this is not a free market. That's what Bobby Kennedy and President Trump have said. They're going to do two things. We're going to get to the truth. We're going to get unbiased nutrition guidelines so parents can have the right information, make informed decisions. And we're going to get conflicts of interest out of our science. The FDA, 75% funded by pharma, and they make our food decisions. Yeah. We can fix this very, very quickly.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some things that happen this way and then other things that just happen by awareness. And I know you all talk about just read the ingredients. If there's 17 ingredients and you can't pronounce 12 of them, you probably should just put it back on the shelf, right?
100%. I want to make this point really clear. There's a slanderous lie being propagated by the medical system that profits from people being sick, that Americans are lazy, that we want to be unhealthy, that we want to eat toxic food, that we want to poison our kids, that we're too lazy and suicidal not to have epidemic rates of diabetes and obesity. We live 7 years less than Italians. And I can tell you from seeing Americans across the country, we're not lazier than Italians. We have bad incentives, corporate capture, and that is what President Trump and Bobby Kennedy are going to fix very quickly.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing. And thank you so much for talking to us. It's just the very beginning of something that I know you say can happen really quickly, which is super encouraging. So Calley Means, thank you. I hope we'll talk again soon. Good to see you.
Thank you, Martha.